welcome back to our Medical Podcast. So today we have a very theoretical source in this podcast. We'll be discussing a hot topic. Let's welcome the resource person Minto. Hi. So the first nih Minto, what actually triggered this case?
Well, based on the police reports, and on the crime analysis, there isn't just one reason actually. Some cases are triggered by, like personal revenge, jealousy, or even like money problem, I think. But one thing they all have in common is emotional instability. Many of these crimes happens when people losing their control and when the stress, angers, and the pressure all mixed together. So basically, it's not just crime. It's a mix of social and emotional and psychological issues.
Okay. Second question. So what do you think the suspect or the boyfriend motive was for mutilating or kill his lover?
Actually, most of the victims pasti tahu siapa penyerangnya, tahu siapa pelakunya gitu ya. Kayak ini tuh bukan pembunuhan yang random gitu, kayak it usually happen between people yang emang udah punya hubungan sebelumnya atau udah punya konflik sebelumnya. Contoh kayak bisa hubungan pacaran, lovers, when they have having conflict, lovers who has a conflict before, and also like a family issue or even like a money dispute. So I think the pattern shows that broken relationship and personal grudges are at the root of the most case, I think.
If we look at it from a legal perspective, what articles are applied in this case?
Legally, the suspect can be charged under Article 338 of Indonesia Criminal Code, which it covers murder that can up to 15 years in prison. But if it's proven to be premeditated, then article and also that can up to 15 years in prison. But if it's proven to be premeditated, then the Article 340 applies, and that means it could be life in prison or even the death penalty. Since this mutilation often means trying to destroy evidence, that can make the sentence even heavier.
Okay, what do you think about this case? Is there something that we can do to prevent such a thing like this?
Honestly, it starts with awareness sih. Like people need to pay attention to what's going on, like what's happening around them. You can just kalian tuh nggak bisa cuek gitu sama lingkungan sekitar, karena kalau misalkan kita cuek ya hal kayak gitu bakal terus terjadi.
Iya, benar-benar.
Menurut gue sih kayak gitu ya. Terus juga if kalian enggak gitu someone's around kalian itu seems unstable or kayak aggressive, you can't just ignore it like that. You can't just ignore it. I think you have to report it actually. Like you can report it with kayak lingkungan di sekitar, kayak orang-orang yang penting di sekitar kalian gitu loh. Contoh kayak ketua RT mungkin atau presiden deh kalau bisa sekalian gitu.
Peka ya.
And I think on a bigger scale we need more education about mental health actually and anger management juga. The police also have to stay active because especially in high risk areas juga itu harus, karena itu untuk make sure people buat ngerasa cukup aman dan bisa speak up sebelum hal-hal kayak gitu terjadi.
Benar, gue setuju. Have you ever been in the same experience or some kind of things like that yang terjadi sama temen lu atau diri lu gitu di sekitar lu?
Kalau terjadi sama diri gue sendiri sih, alhamdulillah, thank God, I'm so grateful, nggak akan pernah terjadi.
Alhamdulillah. Jangan sampai
terjadi. Jangan. But I also my friends, I think.
Oh my God.
Yes, my closest friends. So, ini aman kan? Gak apa-apa ya kalau misalkan gue cerita ya?
Gak apa-apa cerita.
Okay kan? I have this one friend. we can just call it like Rani deh, panggil aja namanya Rani. Relationship look normal like other couples gitu, kayak biasa aja sebenarnya, kayak ya normal aja lah, bukannya kayak we used to hang out or play together di rumah gua, di rumah teman-teman gua, kayak kalau nongkrong ke tempat-tempat kayak warkop gitu-gitu kita sering hang out bareng gitu sama temen gua dan cowoknya ini. But over time si Rani ini jadi berubah. Rani ini jadi change ke gua dan ke lingkungan sekitarnya ya. Menurut gua tuh udah aneh tuh dari situ, kayak dia jadi she become distant, anxious, and looks-nya tuh jadi kayak orang yang depresi. Iya, kayak depresi, terus kayak yang capek tuh kenapa gitu. Sempet gue mikir kayak what the hell is going on with you, like you can tell me gitu, like, but dia masih tertutup sih. And then until one day she finally opened up to me. She told me that her boyfriend you know often got angry over the smallest things, like apa ya, kayak contoh deh nih, kalau misalkan Rani di chat sama cowoknya and then Rani ini nggak nge-reply atau nggak ngebales message-nya dia, within like a minute her boyfriend immediately starts to freaking out, you know, like ngechatin temen-temennya, ngechatin orang-orang yang ada di sekitar si Rani ini, kayak dicacatin si Rani kemana, gini, and also cursing on her name.
Damn.
Ridiculous, right?
Crazy.
So ridiculous. And eventually it wasn't just verbal ya, but I think their relationship is toxic and also abusive actually.
And aggressive.
Yes, I'll tell you more. One day he started to become more like he be brave to hurt her physically. Shit. Damn, I know, right? And you know, like he forced her to do the things that she never wanted. And if she don't want to do it, the things that he wanted, he threatened her, like yelling at her name, something like that. So ridiculous, and start to blame for everything on her. And Rani ini tuh kayak cerita ke gue, dia tuh bilang kalau dia tuh takut kalau mau ngejauh dari ini lagi. And then dia juga merasa guilty, merasa bersalah, kayak duh, cinta monyet deh ya. Dia masih mikir kalau dia tuh masih cinta sama nih laki tanpa nih cowok. Jadi si cowok ini tuh, si cowoknya bikin si Rani ini mikir kayak kalau lu gak sama gua, lu tuh gak ada apa-apanya.
Fucking bitch.
Right? I know, right? Jadi kayak si Rani tuh ngerasa gak kuat. Sakit jiwa. Memang dibikin ngerasa gak ada apa-apa.
Itu lagi iblis.
Devil.
Demon
emang. And then dari situ tuh si Rani jadi kayak ngerasa nggak kuat gitu loh. Ya jadi ketergantungan lah, jadi depend on him also. Terus everything changed after one accident where he shouted at her. Not an accident, actually it's incident ya. Sebenarnya bukan accident, itu memang
insiden.
Intention sih dia kayak gitu, kayak they had a fight and he pushed her on a public place. Can you imagine that? There's one incident actually, like ini terjadi pas sama gua. So one time kita main di rumah gua. Itu ada gua, si Rani, cowoknya, sama ada satu lagi temen gua. kita main di rumah nih biasa kayak bercanda-bercanda, nyanyi-nyanyi ya kayak biasanya lah kalau main gitu. And then at the moment mereka had a fight, they argue about small things actually. Jadi itu masalahnya si ceweknya ini ngepost story di Instagram, and then ini cowoknya jadi become agresif karena si cowok ini even untuk ngepost story aja tuh nggak boleh sama cowoknya.
Even muka dia.
Yes, everything, apapun itu semua dianggap kayak kalau misalkan lu ngepost sesuatu nih di story lu nih karena pikir dia follow-followan sama cowok-cowok, dia pikir tuh kayak you look for attention.
Ew.
So
annoying.
so weird, ridiculous, right? And then setelah itu si Rani ini maksa minta pulang. Terus si cowoknya tuh refuse untuk nganterin dia balik kan. Nah Rani tetap maksa untuk pulang karena udah bete banget digituin. Terus dia tuh order Gojek kalau nggak salah, Gojek apa Grab gitu.
Ojek online.
Ya ojek online gitu lah. Nah si cowoknya nih tahu kalau dia mesen ojek online, diam-diam. And you know what? He forced to grab her phone and smash it on the floor. Like he just like
really crazy.
I know, right? And then after that, not just smash it on the floor, but also he was so easily pick her body, you know, like grab her body and push her onto bed, you know, like kayak dibanting ke kasur, ke kasur gua. Terus gua langsung yang kayak okay, calm down. And then I say this to them, you need to stop right now before I'm going to kick you out of my house, because this is my house.
Yeah.
Kayak gak harus kayak gitu gak sih?
Bener sih.
Oke, itu gue udah bilang kayak gitu tuh, masih nggak ngerti juga. Even teriak-teriak sampai my grandma, you know, my grandma di bawah tuh sampai yang kayak shouting juga. Kayak kenapa di atas? Jangan teriak-teriak, kenapa jangan berantem gitu. Terus gue bilang kayak, lo mau berhenti atau lo mau gue kick dari rumah gitu. Daripada gue yang ikut-ikutan berantem nih sama lu pada nih, ya lu mending diem dah. Kalau lu cabut udah lu kelarin gue, jangan di sini, gue bilang jangan di rumah gue. Udah tuh masih juga dia ngecengkram tangan teman gue ini, si Rani ini, si cowoknya nih, sampai dia tuh tangannya tuh membekas, like there's a bruises, you know, on her arm, like red bruises. Dari situ gue udah nggak bisa nahan ya. It's actually funny, like jadi di kamar gue tuh ada kayak rel bekas pintu geser, tau gak sih? Pintu geser tuh di atasnya tuh ada rel. Di pojokan gitu gue ambil, gue lempar ke dia, ke cowoknya itu gue lempar. Itu berat banget jujur. And then dia bilang kayak gini, kayak kok lu jadi belain dia sih tuh, kok lu nggak belain gue? What the hell? And then after
Coba you thinking deh.
Nah,
Coba you thinking
deh. Nah, habis itu udah tuh kayak story short, bla bla bla. Akhirnya udah tuh kelar di situ, dan dari situ kita udah nggak pernah main lagi berdua. Dia bawa cowoknya tuh udah nggak pernah. Ya dari situ semua udah berubah. Rani jadi broke down, dia jadi distant sama teman-temannya. Dan ya udah sekarang jadi pertemanan kita jadi renggang.
Terus right now nih, pertemanan lu kan jadi renggang. Sekarang dia kondisinya gimana?
Masih sama cowoknya until now. Still
Oh shit.
masih di dalam cinta kata dia. No ya.
I'm hot.
Me too, actually.
I'm hot. Okay, guys, I think this enough for today. I hope you enjoy it and bye.